any time to kind of chat with Earl and find out whether or not he's been thinking more towards retirement or not, or?
Yeah. I had a chance to talk to him the other day when he came in. We've talked over text countless times. I don't think he's gonna retire. But crazier things have happened in the world. But that's just my opinion.
Richard, what was your meeting like with Pete on, I guess it was last Friday now, just kind of after that Rams game?
It was good. It was productive. We went over some stuff. We went over some different strategies. It was really cool. It was fun.
Do you have any regrets about what happened on the sideline there during that game?
No, I think sometimes things need to happen like that. Obviously, people need something to talk about this week, so you're gonna talk about that. But it worked out. The way our team works, it worked out fine, and we're moving forward.
When something like that happens, Richard, do you seek input from teammates or people around you or something to kind of judge, I guess, the response to it or anything like that?
No.
Do you worry about that being divisive within your locker room?
No.
Some people might look at that and think there's an offense-defense divide at all. I mean, do you think there's anything like that?
People would look at a lot of things and make a lot of opinions, but that's why they don't play football or coach. And some of the people who do make those opinions have been fired from their job from coaching. That's why they don't coach anymore.
What was Pete's message about it? I mean, what
It's just it was just a communication. It was just us talking about different strategies, offensive, defensive. His line of thinking, my line of thinking, things like that.
Have you spoken to Daryl at all?
Yeah. I talked to Bev. We talked same day.
Do you regret what you said at all?
No.
Did you apologize to your coach or your teammates?
No.
Pete said after that the Super Bowl loss still lingers, and he's not afraid to say that he kind of still holds on to it. I know you referenced that after the game. Is it the same way for you?
Yeah, I think that'll linger for a lot of people for a long time.
How different is this Arizona team from the last time you faced them? Are they using Johnson any differently?
I think they're a little more beat up than they were the last time. I think they're healthier. The last time we played them, they had more guys going for them. I think their O-line is a little beat up. Johnson's playing well, but he's been playing well the whole season. I think Floyd's not with him no more because of that incident. So I guess there's some differences there, but overall they still big play. They still go down the field and things like that.
Pete just said that he thinks that both K.J. Wright and Bobby Wagner are having their best seasons. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. They've been incredibly effective. I think, as I said before, I think KJ should be voted to the Pro Bowl, but a lot of times he'll miss out on it because he doesn't have a ton of sacks because he doesn't blitz like that. But in terms of what he's done in coverage, what he's done in the run game, what he's done assignment-wise, it's almost been perfection. And Bobby as well. Bobby's lead tackler in the NFL, so he should be a defensive MVP candidate. But a lot of times they say we got too many good players on defense, so can't give it to another good player on defense.
What allows Cam to be kind of a good mediator?
Cam just has a good, calming voice. He's one of those guys everybody respects.
If you had another situation where the offense has the ball first and goal with the 1, and they threw it, do you think you'd have the same reaction?
I don't know. I'd have to see it. If I did, then not one to hold.
Would you have a problem with offensive players yelling at Chris Richard on the sideline for anything during the game?
If we had done something like a zero blitz in the Super Bowl and got bombed for a touchdown to lose the game, then I'm sure we'd be understandable of their reasoning.
Did it change your thinking at all that they scored on a throw on that same drive?
It did not.
Yes, Richard, how much of being comfortable with that type of thing, whether it's talking to coaches, talking to teammates, is a product of your guys' locker room, the way that
It's a product of our locker room. It's a product of our guys having, done well and done our thing for a long time. It's a part of everybody being together and holding each other accountable.
Richard, in talking this over with Pete, did you think you came close to insubordination, and if not, why not?
No, because what's our rule? Protect the team. Protect the team. It goes both ways, and that's what me and Pete talked about.
How do you feel like he received what you had to say to him?
Fantastic. Pete always receives it fantastic. He does a great job, communicating.
We're seeing jobs changing around the NFL. You mentioned coaching things. How much is managing personalities and maybe managing situations like that a key component of what these guys have to do?
I think culture is a key component, and I think a lot of teams don't have great culture. Pete does a good job because he respects his players and he understands that, you don't win games without your players playing well and without your players going out there and giving their all and doing what they're supposed to do. And so he's dealt with a lot of success here. Not every coach is able to bring that level of success because, but every system is different. Every coaching style is different. So, but it's unfortunate that Gus lost his job. It's just, sometimes it happens like that, I guess.
Early in your rookie season, most of your playing time was coming on special teams that first half or so. How much did that special teams play help you develop as a player and of what would eventually translate to defensive play?
Well, I think most players get their start on special teams. At least most skilled players, linemen kind of rotate in. But it just allows you to get on the field, get your reps, get comfortable being out there. Special teams is not really the most technical deal most of the time, especially on the perimeter. Guys just kind of run and you hit. You make plays or you don't. You make quick, fast decisions. You play as hard as you can. But it just gives you the freedom to go out there and just let it all hang out.
But it seems like special teams here is also part of that culture that it starts infiltrating the other parts of the meeting rooms and just other groups. Have you seen how that's worked?
Yeah. It's definitely contagious. Our special teams here is energetic. They're always trying to pump up the crowd. They're always in it. And a lot of our guys play special teams, that they're on offense and defense. A lot of the starters play on special teams. So sometimes it becomes contagious. You get momentum from the special teams, and it translates over to defense or the offensive side of the ball, and it just makes the game a little more fun.
I know the tie 5 or 6 weeks ago, I know you guys were pretty angry about what happened in the desert with the tie. Can you guys see the advantage of that now as we're coming down the stretch of a tiebreaker situation in some of these playoff scenarios?
I think a win would have been better. But, it is advantageous, I guess, in some respects because, it's given us a tiebreaker in some situations, but a win would have gave us even bigger tiebreaker. So, there are some benefits, but, as a competitor, you always want to win.
Are you surprised Earl's talking so much, kind of publicly? I mean, he did an interview today where he said again retirement and kind of went into detail about it.
Earl's kind of opening up. He's at peace, so he's going to open up a little bit and communicate, and it's good for him.
When you, not to pry too much, when you talked to Bevel, what did you guys talk about?
We talked about just the same situation. I think there was a bit of a misunderstanding between us, so we just clarified that.
Was he offended at all, or was he?
He was just more confused at what was going on. I don't think he knew what was going on, so we just clarified it.
You feel like you guys are in a pretty good?
Oh yeah, we're in a great place.
When you had the meeting with Carroll, did he mention the possibility of a fine or suspension?
No.
Richard, if take Doug or Jimmy for example, if you're saying don't throw the ball from the 1 yard line, why would you think they wouldn't take it personally to say that basically you don't trust them in that situation?
Because they understand the history.
On a lighter note, before the Pro Bowl announcements tonight, you have any final words on that?
Well, final words aren't going to do anything at this point. They're already counted and voted. But hopefully they vote the right guys in. You always get disappointments. You always get some surprises. So hopefully Cliff and KJ get the first ones. That'd be great. Hopefully the usual suspects get in. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. Crazier things have happened, as I said before.
You mentioned Doug and Jimmy understand the history. Did they communicate that to you? Were they okay with kind of how that went down?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like I said, our team's a lot different than other teams and a lot different than, I guess, the public. The public just needs an opinion, a criticism. They don't even understand. That's why most people can't ever get to this point, get to the point of success, because most people live their lives with a foot on the brake, hoping not to run into people, and we kind of live our lives with the foot on the gas, trying to search for success. You know, we push the limits, we push the envelopes because we're competitors and we know what it takes to get to the mountaintop. And so since most people don't understand that, you know, it's hard for them to comprehend what's going on here. But it's not hard for my teammates because we see eye to eye on it.
How do you guys manage that then? If you're saying like you guys push the limit,
Easily, because there's a ton of respect between us.
How unique do you think that is with this team?
I think it's unique within winning teams because losing teams, you know, there's a bit of selfishness in what you're saying. So you can feel the animosity when someone says something. You can feel the animosity. Oh, you know, he's jealous of this or he's jealous of this. When you're on a winning team, everybody knows it's coming from a good place. So when somebody makes a comment, you're not thinking, oh, this is coming from a terrible place. Oh, man, they're jealous or this, they're this. They want to win just as bad as you do. You know, they want to win it just as bad or not more than you do. And that's every person on our team. That's 53. So when you got that kind of mentality, you don't deal with division. You don't deal with the nonsense that the talking heads talk about because there's too much respect.
Were you ever on a debate team?
It's been a while. It's been a while. Maybe 7th grade, something like that.
Would you have that
Yes.
experience?
What I don't quite understand is Darrell Bell was calling plays that he thinks are going to work, and yet you feel like you maybe have a better handle of what should be called.
No, I just we had a prior experience, so we talked about it. But let me guess, you have a better play call. Let me guess, you have better experience. Then you should probably kind of, you know, stop.
Do you recall ever losing an argument?
Yes, I've lost plenty to Doug. Yeah, I will never tell him that to his face, so you shouldn't tell him either.
From your perspective, kind of when you express that about the history of the play and throwing from the one, where are you coming from? What are you trying to get across?
Protect the team. Simple.
What's that mean to you?
It's a pretty simple statement. Like not much in depth to go with that one.
I guess there would be some who would say protecting the team is not second-guessing a decision from the sidelines.
Yeah, but those people aren't on the team. You know, in order to protect the team and talk from experience, you got to kind of be on the team.
You had mentioned after that Panthers loss last year, you were confident that the window was open and that you guys would be back. Now you're approaching the postseason this year. Because of that Super Bowl loss and kind of everything you guys have been together as a group, does it feel like there's more at stake maybe this year than even in previous years?
No. I mean, it's always the same amount at stake. You know, you're going to try to win it. And that's the goal every season since I've been here. If it's not the goal, then there's no reason to play.
Anything else?
Thank you.